Hey, before I start this video, I gotta say that this video is brought to you by a guy named Joey Bodner. Now, who is Joey Bodner and where the hell is Joey Bodner? Well, Joey Bodner is a young man who makes iPod and iPhone apps. He's an app maker, okay? He also knows Ruby and Ruby on the Rails, or Ruby on Rails, which I have no idea what it is, but he uses that for the back end on the apps, and this is what the kid does. Now, he's a young guy, he's 25, but he's worked with a startup before, and he's out on his own freelancing, and that's why he wants a little shout out, because now he lives in Bangkok and he's making a go of it. I'm all for anything that helps communication, helps in doing business remotely so that you can have your independence and you don't need to have large companies being your boss. I'm all for doing things on your own. And he can help you. And you know what? I'm also a very firm believer that these iPhone apps and the internet and, all these kind of things, they can change your life. If it wasn't for the internet, many, many years ago, I probably would not be living in Thailand. And, I've actually thought about getting an app made for my for a couple of my sites. And one of them, I just have a little link that where, you click on the icon, the little app icon, and it goes to my website. And, it helps. It's just another little way to do things. But that's different from actually having an app made, which is what he does. So, again, there's the email address. Give it a try. Now, let's get to these questions, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. Yeah. I'm on my way to Hua Hin. I got two emails I want to get to real quick. One is a very legitimate, good question. The other, well, I'll let you figure it out for yourself. Okay. Hey, Scott, I am a 71-year-old American living in the foreign country of Dade County, Florida. Well, that's where I come from. That's where I lived most of my life. I have managed to save over $80,000 and have $1,900 per month in Social Security. I do not drink, smoke, or do drugs, and prefer not to live a hedonistic lifestyle of alcohol and women. I have spent enough time in the Far East in the military to know the pitfalls and consider myself to be streetwise in streetwise in Asian countries. Right. But do I have enough money, and what is the best way to get that money into my Thai bank account? Is it safe for a 71-year-old man in good health to be living alone? Are there health food stores and vegetarian restaurants? Are there juice bars, yoga, and such to maintain my healthy lifestyle? Okay, let me just answer your questions one by one. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. I have spent... Do I have enough money? Yes, you do. That's 57 and 850, about 65,000. Yeah, it's enough. Okay, and the 80,000, I would just keep that as a backup. That's probably what you're gonna do. But the 80,000 is more than enough to qualify for retirement. So that's good. And then you have let's see here. You've got the $1,900 a month. That's enough. You're not going to be living high in the hog, but you can be quite comfortable on that much money, especially if you're single. Let's see here. Yes, you have enough money. What is the best way to get that money into my Thai bank account? Well, when you transfer over 10 grand, it gets reported to the IRS. So I don't know, if you don't want that to, you don't want to transfer more than that much. I don't know exactly how much you want to transfer, but what I would do is I would keep the money in the U.S. Maybe you have the Social Security, the bulk of your money keep in the U.S. Maybe you keep 5 grand, 10 grand here in Thailand, and then just have your Social Security transferred. Will you stop it? have this have the Social Security transferred into your Bangkok bank account. What you're going to need to do is come to Thailand, open a Bangkok bank account, and then you're going to have to change the Social Security to wherever it comes from right now. You can change it to be transferred from the U.S. into the Bangkok Bank U.S. intermediary branch, which is not a walk-in bank. It's just an intermediary bank that allows you to have Social Security transferred to that branch there in New York, and then it gets transferred to Bangkok Bank in Thailand. That's how I would do that. And I definitely wouldn't transfer all your money here. Don't do that, please. Okay, is it safe for a 71-year-old man in good health to be living alone? Yes. Just, be careful, but yes. Are there health food stores and vegetarian restaurants? The health food stores here are not up to snuff as far as if you're going to compare them to the U.S. When I was just home, there were numerous places where you can get all kinds of juice drinks and healthy, smoothies and vegetarian type drinks and that kind of thing. You're not really going to find that here, but you can. They are available. You just once you get to know where the places are, it will be fairly easy for you. And as far as the vegetarian restaurants, my wife has gone vegetarian, and she doesn't really know any restaurants because every restaurant she goes to, pretty much every restaurant, she can have something that is vegetarian. She can just ask them to make something without meat, or she can have a dish that's strictly vegetables or whatever it might be, or they'll add in tofu, but it is possible. So there are plenty of places you can go. Are there juice bars, yoga, and such to maintain my healthy lifestyle? Yes, there are. There are juice bars pretty much everywhere. You just ask them to either not put in any sugar or put in less sugar than they normally would. There's definitely yoga all around the city. It might be a little pricey though, but I'm sure you can find it to where you can go, 2-3 times a week, and it's reasonable. And there are also things like Pilates or Pilates, and I don't know how to say it. I would like to do those actually, but there's Tai Chi, there's all kinds of stuff. So yes. If I were you, sounds like a good move. You might want to do it. All right, now from the gutter, we have a message, and the guy says, okay, here's one that you likely don't get every day, so maybe it will even make the cut for a YouTube response. Well, let me just say one thing right away. Either this is, this is a troll. This is a guy just trying to get me to read this, or this is a guy who is full of himself and doesn't give a hoot. I'm not swearing. Okay, Mom? He doesn't give a hoot about, he doesn't care about other people. And that's just my opinion. And when I read this, you'll understand why. I've seen enough of your content to know that a great many of these Thai girls are looking for a steady walking ATM machine, something I'm more than willing to do if this scenario is realistic in your educated opinion. I would very much like to have a kid of my own, but I'm perfectly content with the responsibility of free bachelor life here in the U.S. I don't want to play husband or daddy. I simply just want to be secure in the knowledge that I've reproduced at least just once, so that I will be a biologically successful organism, and that the millions of years of evolution that has led to the existence of my dumb ass will not come to an end when I kick the bucket. All right, I'm going to make this really easy. Ever hear of a sperm bank? That way they will check and see if you are even feasible, if your genes are good enough to pass on. That way you don't foul the gene pool. Okay? And like you said, you're a dumbass, so it is what it is. That being said, the last thing I want to do is knock up some chick in the States and be raped by child support for the next 18 years. Don't get me wrong, once confirmation has been made that the rugrat is truly from my loins, I would absolutely pay child support to my lovely Thai business associate. but it would need to be on my own terms, and it would need to be sealed with a handshake, not a legal contract. Something along the lines of $100 US per month sent to a PayPal account until the kid is grown. Let me tell you something, buddy. First of all, if this really is a legitimate question, you're an idiot. Not to mention, in my opinion, my humble opinion, a piece of dirt, okay? Really. If it's not, then, obviously it doesn't really matter if this email's not legitimate. But $100 a month? Are you kidding? Ugh. Let me tell you something. That won't even cover the milk, okay? We just on my kids. Now, we've always spent a lot on food. We've spent a fair amount on food, and it's increased over the years, okay? So here's the deal. $100 a month is nowhere near enough. You better think like 400 or 500 at least, okay? And I don't think that the Thais are going to be thinking, oh, I just want to go to my PayPal account and get... If you're talking about a woman like this that's going to accept some idiotic scheme like this, PayPal ain't going to cut it, pal. That seems to be a heck of a good, steady, long-term paycheck in that part of the world, assuming the girl will take the risk that my intentions are legit, which they are. So, is it feasible given a 2 or 3 week jaunt to Thailand? And if so, what are your thoughts on the best way to initiate the deal? Thanks for your consideration and the excellent videos. Okay, so let's say that this is a legitimate message, and you're not trying to be a piece of garbage and try to take advantage of a Thai girl. Go to a sperm bank, okay? That's the thing, is that it's probably a lot cheaper. They'll actually pay for you and you'll know you're getting your genes passed on. But with something like this, I mean, really, don't even think about it. I don't want any part of it. Let's put it that way, all right? And I feel bad for reading this, but this is the kind of people I get messages from, and this is why I don't want to do these kind of emails very often, because this is what I get. I get this, or I get messages from people who can't read, can't write, can't think for themselves, and the number of brain cells they have been limited by genetics. Lots of chowderheads in the world, a few people that are semi-intelligent, even less that are really intelligent. So, until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Chok di la jerk and mai.